What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday to you. Is your week off this week? Every time a holiday falls on a Monday, my week just seems a little bit off, but I am making it. I happen to catch this, and I don't like to pay attention to celebrity drama, but I feel like there's always a lesson in some of this stuff that's being perpetuated that maybe some people focus on. Other people, maybe they have some other lessons that they derive out of some of this stuff. For me, I find it very interesting when I hear certain celebrities go back and forth about this and that. So I was catching Tamar Braxton kind of talk about her drama with her fiance, husband, boyfriend. Who knows? They both seem to have different stories. But
have to buy no man. I know who I am. I know the kind of money I make. I know the status of my life. I don't have to buy no man. But if I'm pouring into my relationship, pouring into someone that I want to rekindle something with because this is not my boyfriend, I'm wrong for that? Oh, and I'm on my own for that. And not you saying, when your birthday come around, I'm a wop, woom, woom. Like, I had absolutely no idea to feel like I was in this by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have seen us out. People seen us at your favorite restaurant. Yes, we have been, quote unquote, living apart. And I guess you want to say single where we could, date other people and see what's out there. But you clearly told me you wasn't with nobody. You clearly told me that you are emotionally unavailable and you just hitting whop, and whoom, whoom.
Okay. So that was the part that I wanted to get to because I did hear her dudes sort of come back of this back and forth that they were doing. And he said that he was emotionally unavailable, but he was very specific that he was not emotionally available to Tamar. And I feel like when women like this disconnect from a man that for the most part probably was easygoing, right? They don't know how to lose control. I'm looking at Tamar Braxton and I'm looking at a woman who has lost control over a man that she probably had some level of control over. And when they lose that control over that somewhat kind of, weaker dude, if you will, because there are some dudes that just will not take certain things from women and they get labeled chauvinists and all kinds of things, but they typically have their women in check or in order because there's certain things that they will not take from them, right? But then you got other men who have like sort of this, I want to say shit filter. And it's pretty high, right? Like they take a lot before they just kind of go over the top, And that's kind of how I look at JR. Like, I think that he was probably on for the ride. He was definitely saw that, I could have a lot of fun with Tamar, and I don't doubt that Tamar Braxton is a blast to hang out around, right? But she also seems very diva-like, right? And when you have these diva-like women in relationships with certain types of men, they'll take a lot, but they still will get to a point where they're just not going to take certain aspects. And he mentioned that, he felt like she was mentally unwell. And that statement to me does play a lot into what his experience was with her on the relationship side. And, there's, and I don't know what he did to really secure her in the relationship, but it seems like he said he's never cheated on her. He was pretty loyal. But it doesn't matter if a man is loyal to a woman like that. She is expecting some level of full compliance. And when that man gets tired of that type of compliance and he moves on from her, now her pride and ego is kind of like, I can't believe that you're moving on from me. And, and then she turns into a manipulator where she starts to pretend like she really wants to work on this marriage and she's sort of in a moment weakens herself to that man. And I'm pretty sure that they've gone through that manipulation back and forth before he was even able to recognize that and say, you know what? No, I don't care who you are, right? I just don't want to deal with this anymore, right? And I think that there were some other little things revealed in this back and forth too. That she was paying for a lot of stuff, and I mean, I think that's kind of where a lot of women don't realize that you can't pay for these dudes to be your man and protect you. And even if you feel like you're not paying for them to be your man and protect you, if you make more money than them, and your money is pretty much the money that's holding everything down, you know what I mean? And your man has this weird level of compliance that he's going to tolerate a lot from you, more than a normal man would, right? I think, it's safe to say, that, he's going to recognize that, you think that your leverage is your money. And that's not going to mean a whole lot to him either. And I think that Tamar is at that reality where her man is there, right? JR is there where I don't care about who you are. I don't care about your money, right? I don't want to be emotionally available to you. I don't want to be this dude that you can feel like you can have as your arm piece and then treat however you feel like you want to. I mean, obviously he was not happy in that relationship, that he felt like he needed to take this break. You know what I mean? And I think that some women, they can't take when men decide to leave them. And that's why, she tried to make it really clear in the beginning of her little diatribe that, hey, I didn't leave him, or he didn't leave me. I left him. I blocked him. I did this. I did that. Right? But, I mean, when you look at the back and forth that some of these women do with men, you would think, well, if you just, block them, cut them off or whatever, then why so emotional with this whole credit card? Why are you going out the deep end to sort of, put the dude on blast about this credit card thing? And apparently he said that they've already resolved it, but you want to make it something bigger. And this is how people victimize themselves. And to me, she sounds like she
and my whole thing,
is playing the victim
and let's not
role.
make it like, oh, I'm sorry, we keep being cut off, but this is important. And we're not going to make it like, oh, now Tamar got mental health issues. Now, y'all done seen this man. We're not going to pretend that this man has not been airing me out and embarrassing me for the past 6 months. Now, if there was not understanding between he and I, y'all see me sit up here and take a bunch of L's and apologize and really try to work toward my marriage and try to, fix shit and, because the truth is, y'all, so much, I don't even really know. But just like he said, I'm not going to divulge everything, but I'm not going to let nobody sit up here and make it seem like I am delusional and deranged, and you clearly said you don't want me.
I think that that's the thing that's really bothering her, is that he is coming out and publicly saying, I don't want you. I don't want you. And that opens up a whole other conversation sometimes about these interracial relationships. Some Black women, they can find really good men. I know a lot of good Black women who have really good men who are not their race. But there are some white men who they're not really trying to be serious with Black women. They may see an advantage of being with them, right? But once that advantage seems to be waning off, or it's just too much for them to deal with, right? The fun is over, and they're really not interested, and they start emotionally disconnecting to the point where they're not available. And I feel like people like Tamar Braxton, like, she needs a dude that will say yes to her and just do whatever she wants him to do, and just be a lapdog. And I think that JR was probably willing to play that role for a while, but there's only so much a man can take. So what do you guys think? Are you on Team Tamar with this back and forth with her husband, fiance, or boyfriend? Or do you think that she is kind of she's kind of revealing that she has some mental issues just by the way that she's articulating this back and forth with this dude? And I will say that JR seemed a lot more collected. He seemed a lot more like definitive with conviction about what he was saying, and Tamar seems like she's just on this manipulating, victimized, emotional rant because this dude that she once probably could control has decided to move on. So this is interesting. The world is so crazy. But if they are married, though, I do hope that, they can figure out a way to kind of step back and then come back and reconcile their marriage, because I don't like to see, unions fail. And she seems like she's a godly woman, seemingly, right? It's a lot of seemingly godly women, but they out here in these streets, just out here. But I would say she needs to pray. She needs to pray to God to help her be a good woman to her husband, and help her to, help him if he needs to make some adjustments, be good to her. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.